Manifest like this and you will never be the same. No more will you be dealing with the force and the effort, trying to make yourself believe that you are something that you're not in order to manifest the wonderful things that you deserve. This is going to eliminate all the struggle and allow you to access the truth of who you are. The first thing I want to touch on in this video is the most important piece. What is the feeling behind what you want? What is the true feeling of fulfillment? The feeling of your wish fulfilled, as Neville Goddard would say. What is the essence of what you're after? Because in truth, that's really what we desire to experience. When we have something physically, circumstances we want to experience, or a physical object we want in our possession, it's really not about that physical thing, because everything physical is illusory anyways. It's all the same thing, just little balls of light moving at different speeds, so it appears like a certain circumstance, or it appears like a certain car, or house, or income. Whatever it is, it's illusory. You really want the feeling. I want you to dig deep and understand what exactly is the essence that you're after. So to give you a live example, I didn't solve my financial problems from within, the only place where you can solve anything really, until I figured out the true essence of my desire. And for me, it was a feeling of freedom. I hated the feeling of constriction, the inability to go where I want when I wanted to. All of these things were limiting feelings. They were feelings of being stuck or unable to make changes. And no matter how many times I visualized, affirmed, scripted, it didn't matter and nothing really changed until I actually understood that feeling of freedom. For me, that's what it was. For you, it could be different. For you, depending on your desire, it's going to be very specific to you as a person. What does it mean to you? For you, if you're going after financial as well, it may not necessarily be a feeling of freedom, but rather a feeling of security, feeling that things are taken care of. That's wonderful as well. Or if you're manifesting a relationship, a wonderful marriage, it could be different for different people. Some people will go after a feeling of love, or that relationship will give them a sense of security, a sense of comfort, a sense of safety. They feel that their partner will help them feel safe in this world. It's going to depend on you. So you should really sit down and ask yourself this. What is the true essence and feeling that you desire to get out of it? What is the peak of fulfillment for you when it comes to what you're manifesting? Once you're clear on that true feeling of fulfillment for you, the essence behind your desire, the next step is to begin believing that that's what you are, that that is already true for you. This is where a lot of people run into trouble because they are still living from the perspective of the personality. I'll call it the little I. The little I is John Smith or Mary Doe, whatever your name is, whatever you've believed yourself to be, your story of who you've been and how you were raised and your traumas, your past experiences, all of these things are making up your personality. They are not the real you. The real you is God, Source, universe, infinite intelligence and power of the subconscious mind, or you can call it your higher self. When I mention any of those terms, I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the higher self, the version of you that is not the personality. It's limitless. It's pure consciousness, pure imagination, and there's absolutely nothing that can stop it from fulfilling your every desire. The struggle comes in when people are using this limited I and trying to convince themselves through affirmations, visualization, scripting, that the little I is what they desire, is that fulfillment now. But the problem is the little I cannot be convinced without reasoning or rationale or physical circumstances. It will wait until there's $1 million in the bank account to say I am a millionaire. It will wait until there's a wedding ring on the finger to say I am happily married. It will wait until whatever the circumstance is fulfilled in order to identify with that as true. That is why so many people struggle. They're trying to figure out, how do I actually believe something that isn't real? The way that we can overcome this struggle is by creating a clarified definition of God, Source, universe, your higher self. Many people think it's just this vague essence. It's this vague idea or just this grand idea that they don't have a clear definition on. But that is the problem. If you don't have a clear definition of what or who God is as yourself, then you're going to have a difficult time identifying yourself with that being, because that being is actually the fulfillment of your each and every desire now. It makes sense that something that is absolutely everything, everywhere, all good, all love, would be the fulfillment of whatever you desire, be it wealth, health, happiness, that house, that car, whatever it is. It's even greater than that. It's even greater than what you could possibly imagine yourself wanting right now. But because we don't have a clear idea of that, we haven't clarified our definition of God, then it doesn't really have the same effect as if we're very sure, or if we know deep within our soul that that is true. The next step here is to recognize that God is absolutely the essence of the fulfillment of your desire, which we talked about in the first step. Your higher self is that. It is the freedom you seek. It is the relief. It is the satisfaction, the joy, the safety, the security, whatever that feeling is for you. And it could be multiple things. It is all of that and more. And once you get that into your mind and you let that impress your subconscious, then instead of trying to force yourself to believe I, this little I, John Smith or Mary Doe, is wealthy, healthy, happy, etc., whatever it is that you want, instead you're going to say, I and my Father are one, or I and my higher self are one. I and the source of all things, the universe, God, the infinite intelligence and power of the subconscious mind are one. Therefore, by proxy, you are identifying yourself with what you desire without trying to force yourself to believe that you are not the physical circumstances present here and now. In this way, you bypass the resistance of the rational mind trying to say, no, you're not, looking at all the physical circumstances. Where's the money in the bank account? Where's the house? Where's the car? Where's the loving relationship? You don't have to worry about any of that because you can't deny the fact that you are a child of God, source, universe, your higher self. And you also can't deny the fact that that infinitely powerful being is everything that you desire and more. Now that's one big piece of the puzzle. That's how you can actually begin to believe and identify yourself with what you desire as being fulfilled. But in between the times where you're actually feeling that, where you're actually deep in that essence and living it, you may run into resistance, doubt, fear, worry, impatience, any of these things that come into the mind naturally. And so to help you with this, I want you to ask yourself one question. Can this thought outlast my higher self? Can this thought of negativity, lack, worry, fear, etc., can this outlast God? The answer is no. You can remind yourself that any resistance that comes into the mind is temporary, which means when you remind yourself that it's temporary, you'll be sooner able to let it go. It'll be much easier to let it go because you're recognizing I'm only having this as a reaction to what just happened. It's not going to be here permanently. It can't outlast God. It can't outlast the highest version of myself, which is already the fulfillment of my every desire. So what am I doing hanging on to it? And then you let it go. You may have to do it multiple times, but it gets easier and easier. It's like breaking a habit. A lot of the times when we're manifesting something, the reason we don't already have it manifested in our life is because we're in the habit of feeling the opposite. We're in the habit of feeling lack of that thing. It's natural to us. We have to flip that around and make it natural to identify with God, source, universe, your higher self, which is already the fulfillment of every desire. When you do that, then you begin to feel into, oh yes, this is the essence. What is that feeling? That relief, that security, that freedom. And then you activate it within yourself. And you know that that is your own sign, your own gift, your own knowing that it's already done. Not through the little I's force and effort, but rather through the infinite power and intelligence of God and your higher self. And I want you to remember this very important point, which I got while rereading You Can Get What You Want If You Find It Within Yourself by Robert A. Russell. It is God's responsibility to fulfill our every desire. It is our responsibility to keep our mind focused on God, to remain as a clear channel through which all of His blessings for us can flow. This doesn't mean there's an outside God. God is yourself, but it's not the personality. You have to use your conscious mind to program the personality to function as a channel for all the blessings that are already on their way to you. They're natural for you. They're your inherent good. They are your divine birthright. But when we let the personality run rampant as we have for so long, believing in negative beliefs, operating based on reasoning and rationale rather than on faith, then we have to relearn the process of opening ourselves up to be the perfect channel through which our natural divine gifts and blessings can flow. Just to break it down simply one last time. First, identify the actual feeling that you're after. What is the true sense of fulfillment you will get from having that thing or circumstance that you want fulfilled? Second, recognize that God / your higher self / the subconscious / source is already that thing in its fullest. Third, recognize that you are one with that being, which is already the fulfillment of your desire. And then fourth and bonus step, just remind yourself if any doubt comes up, it's only temporary. You can let it go. You can return to the feeling of fulfillment, fulfilling that essence within you and making it your natural state of being so that every day you wake up, you get right into it. You're going about your day doing whatever you're doing, you get right into it. You go to bed and you fall asleep in the feeling that it's already yours. Without force, without effort, without trying to pretend that the little I is that thing, but instead knowing the truth, identifying yourself with God and knowing that it's His responsibility to fulfill our every desire. All you have to do is let the mind remain a clear channel through which those wonderful blessings that are meant for you can flow. Next, if you want to learn more about how I spent years manifesting the wrong way, but this is how you actually get what you want, check out this video right here. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time. Take care.